Finding your way around the iPad. Number 1. Apps. Your iPad comes installed with some basic apps and features. Why tablets and smartphones are so popular at the moment is that they can be customized almost endlessly from a choice of thousands of apps. This makes the iPad very much a user-centered experience. It's a bit like being able to build your own computer, but without all the boring bits. In order to customize your own iPad, you will need to access the App Store through this icon. At the moment, you are only able to purchase free apps in the store, as the account that has been set up is not linked to an account with funds. There is a wide variety of useful free apps though, so you can either browse by category like this and choose the kind of app you are interested in, or type in related keywords in the search box at the top of the page. You can read more about an app by clicking on it and then reading the description, and if you want to download it, just click the button here, which should say free if it's free, the price if you have to buy it, or open if you've already got it. If you want to buy an app, you will need to use your own iTunes account, and you can do this by going to Settings, clicking on iTunes and App Store, then adding or creating your iTunes account. You can store your apps across a number of screens or pages. The ones that you use most can be kept in the dock at the bottom of the screen, as they will always be there regardless of what page you are on. As you get more and more apps and links, you may want to group some of them together into a folder. To do this, hold down on an icon you want to be in a folder until all icons start to wobble and the delete option appears in the top left corner. Press on the icon and hold to move it about. To create a folder, just drag and drop it onto another icon you want to be in that folder. The first time you do this, it will ask you to name the folder. After this, just drag and drop icons into the folder. If you want to move an icon to a different page, drag it to the edge and then the page will move. When using an app, you can quickly close it by pressing the Home button or the 5-finger scrunch technique. This enables you to jump between apps quickly. Even quicker than this can be to double-click the Home button twice to bring up your most recently used apps or folders along the bottom of the screen. This is very useful when going back and forth between two things again and again, for example the internet and a note-taking app. From here you can always swipe to the right to quickly get to a volume, brightness and media player options. An even quicker way to move between two applications is the 4-finger swipe, which is a bit like the forwards and back button on a PC, although without the waiting for the page to load. Number 2. Using the settings. Unlike on a Windows PC, where there can be a number of locations to go to change settings and preferences, the iPad has everything in settings. From here you can do a number of things to customize the iPad to your particular tastes or to make changes. Down the left you have the folders you can choose, and on the right the different functions you can control. When you want to go into the options, just click the arrow at the side and review the options. From here you can review software updates and install them. Usage shows you your available memory, the amount of memory that is taken up by certain apps or folders like your photos or music, with an option to delete anything that seems to be taking up a lot of space and you don't need. It also shows information about your battery life. You can also set or change passcodes to make your iPad more secure, the date and time, and accessibility functions such as the Speak Selected Text option, which is useful for those who might struggle to read text or larger fonts, and inverted colours for those who may need to improve the visual experience of the iPad. Another useful thing you can do in settings is lock the rotation of your device. You may find the auto rotation of the screen annoying or just not appropriate for what you are doing. You can set this little side switch to be a quick way of locking the rotation of your device. Just go into Settings, then General, and scroll down to Use Side Switch to mute or lock rotation, and tick Lock Rotation. Now whenever you want to lock or unlock the rotation, you can do this by simply flipping the side switch, like this. Number 3. Internet. Safari is your default browser on the iPad, but you can use others like Google Chrome or Firefox by downloading an app from the App Store. The Safari interface is clean and simple. The top bar is where your URL is displayed, or you can type or paste a URL in if you want. If you want to search by keyword, use the right-hand box. As with most browsers, suggestions appear as you type. Just click to follow one of these. The plus opens a new tab, so you can have several pages open at the same time. Click the small X on the tab to close it. When you have found the page you want, there are a number of things you can do. The most useful icon is the share icon, the little box with an arrow coming out from it. From here you can, amongst other things, send the link to someone or many people in an email. To do this, just click on Mail and add your recipients as explained before. You can bookmark useful pages that you use repeatedly. You can edit the bookmarks you have saved by clicking on the book icon, and then by clicking on Edit you can delete or just move your bookmarks around. This can also be done by adding links to your useful pages to the home screen. From the Share icon, choose Add to Home Screen. Decide what you want to call it, and it will appear on your home screen. You can then move it and add it to a folder as shown before. The book icon does not only give you access to your bookmarks, but also to your history and a reading list. This is different to bookmarks because it gives you a brief intro to the page and also tells you whether you have read it or not. To delete a link, slide your finger along it and press delete. Accessing the college's Moodle page couldn't be any simpler. Just make your way to Moodle as you would do normally through the college web page, then save the link either in the bookmarks or on your home screen. You now have access to all the course information on the go and can view any assignment or resource, whether it's a PDF, PowerPoint, Word document, link or YouTube video. Taking a screenshot or a print screen can be very useful if you want to refer to something when you might not have the internet, to email to others, or to insert into a note in a note-taking application like Evernote, but more on that later. It can seem a little bit fiddly the first time you do it, as you have to press down the power button on the side and the home button on the top at the same time. You'll know you've done it when the screen flashes and you hear a click. This is then saved into your camera roll. We'll be looking at what you can do with the photos in your camera roll later. Number 3. Emails. Once you have linked your email account to your iPad using the settings and then the Mail, Contacts, Calendars section, it is very easy to manage your emails. The Mail icon will give you instant access, although it only gives you limited features. The advantage of the iPad Mail feature is how quick and easy it is to use. Unless you deactivate it, your iPad will beep you when you get a message, meaning you can get to those important emails quicker. It gives you instant access to your inbox, but clicking on your email account in the Account section underneath will give you access to all your folders. However, this is where the iPad starts to become less useful, because it will only show recent messages and, although there is a search facility, it is not very effective at finding the email you want. Replying to and sending emails is a doddle. Open up your emails and press Reply or Reply to All if you're answering a message. If it's a new email, press on the pen and paper icon at the end. Add your recipient by typing in the first couple of letters of their name or email address. If they're in your contacts, it will come straight up. If not, you'll have to go into the full address list like this. It largely functions like any email provider, so provides no major surprises. If you're finding the limitations of the iPad email service frustrating, the alternative is to use the web version of Outlook. This can be done simply by saving the link to your home page, as we have already seen. It does not look as nice and the text is a little small, but it functions well and gives you access to everything you would normally have. Number 4. Calendar. The iPad Calendar is worth getting to know, even though it is not as intuitive as Google Calendar, for example. The calendars you choose to view on the iPad are controlled by going to Settings and Mail, Contacts, Calendars. So for example, linking your Gmail account would instantly connect you to your Google Calendar as long as you turn the calendar function on in the settings. To view your calendar, just click on the icon. You can view it in day, week, month or even year, which is handy for quick movement between dates. Depending on which view you are in, just swipe your finger across like turning the page to go to the next or previous day, week, month or year. You can show events from several calendars at the same time. Click on Calendars at the top, then select which calendars you want to see and what colour you want them to appear as. This enables you to plan your whole life instead of keeping work and home separate, which could result in clashes. To save an event to your calendar, you just need to click on the plus at the bottom, give it a title, a location if you want to, and set the time and date. The end time defaults to an hour after the start, so you may need to change this by sliding the time settings up or down. Making it an all-day event highlights the event and places it at the top of the day's events. I often use this for something important that does not have a specific time, but needs to be done on that day, or just a general reminder that you want to see straight away in the morning. You can repeat the event every day, week, month or year, and set the date for the repeat to end. You can invite people to the event by adding them to the invitees list. This is quick and easy as the calendar accesses your contacts. An alarm or alert can also be set to ring at the time of the event, just before, hours before or days before. You can choose which calendar to save the event to, but you will still be able to view it on the iPad regardless of which calendar you choose. There is even a notes section at the bottom if you have more to jot down. When you make an alteration, if this is a recurring event, you will be asked if you want to change it for just this event or all future events. Number 5. Photo and video on the iPad. Taking a photograph or video couldn't be easier. Touch the camera icon. One little tip, if you have one of the iPad covers, keep the hinge part at the bottom and it won't be falling in front of the camera when you're taking your picture. Grip the iPad in the middle at either side. It's okay, the camera lens is actually in the top left hand corner. And then with your free right thumb, press the camera icon on the screen when you're ready. A video is exactly the same, but just slide the button from camera to video camera at the bottom. The twisty arrow icon is if you want to do a bit of vlogging, so avoid pressing this if you don't like seeing yourself on screen. So what can you do with all these lovely photos and videos? If you click the share button, you can email it to someone or even post it to Twitter or Facebook if you are so inclined. Want to look at an overview of all your photos instead of scrolling through one by one? Just go to your photographs and click on Camera Roll. There are many ways you can edit photographs on the iPad, depending on how you want to edit them and for what purpose. If you just want to crop, rotate or do basic enhancement and red eye, you can do this from the camera folder itself. Press on Camera, then click on the small photo picture in the bottom left hand corner. This brings up the last picture in your camera roll. Choose your photo to edit and click Edit at the top. Rotate will move your image 90 degrees. Enhance automatically adjusts the brightness, colour and contrast to suggested levels. If you don't like it, just hit Revert to Original. Red eye will remove those scary horror film eyes from your photos automatically. Crop is probably the most useful. Select this and touch any of the corners and select the part of the image you want to keep. Selecting Constrain after choosing your crop area will adjust it to a particular proportion. So choosing Original, for example, will resize the image in the same proportions to the original. When you are happy, save it. This will overwrite the original. Want to do more with your photos? Sketch is an app that allows you to draw, type, highlight and pixelate an image. You can then email it on or just save it into your camera roll for use at another time. Camera Awesome is a more advanced camera app for those interested in photography as an art form. Using the options on the screen, you can choose grids to help you take a level or centered photograph. Choose styles or themes for the photo you are about to take. There is also image stabilization, fast and slow burst options to capture moving subjects or for use in animations. You can even set a timer. Awesome indeed. The keyboard automatically appears whenever you tap the screen in a window or application that allows text. The keys default to lowercase, but it will automatically change to uppercase at the start of a new line or after a full stop. A blue shift button shows that the uppercase is turned on, and if you double tap twice on the shift button, it will stay on uppercase. If you can't see the character or symbol you're looking for, press here to change the keyboard, and if it's not here, touch here to change it again. If you have typed something wrong, a recommendation will appear below. This is what the word will be changed to once you have typed it. If you do not want it to be changed to this, just hit the little X by the side. If it would be easier to copy and paste, you can do this too, albeit a bit fiddlier than highlighting with a mouse. Locate your text, touch and hold more or less in the right place, and when the magnifier appears, drag the cursor to the start of the text to be copied. Take your finger off the screen and it will highlight the word, so touch the end of the highlight and drag to cover all the text you want. Take your finger off again and one of the options you will see is Copy. This will remember your text and paste it wherever you want. What about those tricky words, names or phrases that you regularly need but take a long time to type or involve switching between letters and numbers? One option is to create your own keyboard shortcut. Go to Settings, General, Keyboard, and then you can add your own shortcut. So for example, my shortcut for a postcode could just be the 2 letters, meaning I would no longer need to switch into numbers mode. The same could be done with tricky words or phrases that you get bored of typing again and again.